Tonight we're going to do the Federation attack flyer. It has an attack percentage of 129,999 and has a defensive value of 10,000. The armament upon this vessel is one Type 6 phaser at 3,333 terawatts, two Type 8 phasers at 30,833 terawatts, and one Photon disruptor capable of launching torpedoes that deal 65,000 terawatts of damage. We'll take a moment here and we'll watch this vessel engage the craft and we'll see its energy output. As you can see, the vessel is going to come in. The first blast we're going to see is its small Type 6 and a modified version using a Type X phaser. Next we'll see the torpedoes followed by the Type 8 phaser here in just a moment. Here's the Type 8 phaser. This vessel is light and nimble and is an attack bomber who fights in groups of usually 2 to 4, sometimes 5 to 6. This vessel is strategically very fast. It does carry extra torpedoes if needed underneath the wings where it can drop it off as seen here. This vessel is incredibly effective against large capital ships where it's able to outmaneuver them and drop its payload and get in and out, and if the vessel is destroyed it doesn't really matter because only a couple officers are lost and basically this ship is nothing more than a shuttlecraft. From a strategic point of perspective, it's extremely efficient and effective vessel for a ship of its size.
A small brief history of the ship's design. The ship was designed to protect outlying worlds of the Federation on the rim and was capable of defending itself from mostly raiders and pirate ships. This vessel was designed to take on mid-level class vessels. The ship's defensive capability is a shield matrix and armor level of 10,000. As you can see here, the ship can't take no more than 2 shots from a Galore class vessel. The Galore class weapon seen here is a spiral wave disruptor cannon. So we know the armament level of this ship is based off the Galore's weapons. The Galore spiral wave disruptors are only 5,000. The reason we know this is the Maquis Raider was attacked by a Galore class vessel in the very first episode of Voyager. This vessel was able to take 1 shot from a Galore heavy spiral wave cannon and 13 shots from a standard spiral wave disruptor, which would seem to destroy our vessel. So we know that that Maquis Raider value of the ship is only 325,000. And so we know that its full value is only 325,000 because we've seen the ship destroyed by the Defiant, and it was only able to withstand 10 shots from the Defiant. With the Maquis Raider only able to take 10 shots, it would be estimated that the shield value would be around 260,000 with an armor level of 65,000. So all we would need to do is divide the 260,000 by 2, then minus the 65,000 terawatts, which represents the large heavy spiral wave disruptor cannon, then divide the remainder by 13, and then you'll find out that the Galore class weapons are only 5,000. Once you realize they're only 5,000, then we just need to obviously times 5,000 by 2, and we know the full defensive capability of the Federation fighter. I hope you have enjoyed this video. We also know this ship was its shields were taken down by 3 shots from a Type 6 phaser. So a Type 6 phaser is estimated to be around 3,333. We can also gain some data points from finding out how much damage was done to the runabout. We know from prior videos that the runabout is 130,000 shields. And so what that means is that if you were to take the ship being shot 2 times by Type 6 phasers and then 4 times by Type 8 phasers, what you do is you would take 130,000 minus 3,333, then minus another 3,333, then take the remainder and divide it by 4. Will tell you the energy output per shot per a Type 8 phaser, which comes out to around 30,833 terawatts. The Federation fighter was a patrol craft that was used to supplement the outer ring planets of the Federation that don't have starships to defend them. This vessel was made during the TNG era in the 2070s. around the same time period that the USS Enterprise D was created. The purpose of this vessel was to engage larger craft like the Galar class with as little cost or worry about loss of life as possible. We're going to do an evaluation of what would happen if 3 of these vessels were to engage a Galar class vessel on one of the outer rims that it protects. So protecting one of these outer rim worlds, what we would do is we would imagine that 3 of these ships engage a Galar class. Now these ships are highly maneuverable and capable of warp speed. They would be able to get in and they would attack the Galar vessel from an angle, just like the Maquis had done. What that's going to do, it's going to make it hard for the ship to shoot them, and it's going to give them the greatest opportunity with the least amount of opportunity to be shot to deliver the highest amount of payload of damage. So what's going to end up happening is they're going to dive bomb them from the top. They're going to at least unload their torpedoes. And so what's going to happen is if even one of these ships is able to unload its entire torpedo volley onto the ship, it's enough to break the Galar class's shields, and then the other 2 ships can follow it up. Most likely during an engagement like this, you will at least lose 1 ship though, before the Galar has been crippled or destroyed. Now from a strategic value point, what had happened here is we are going to take the scenario, we're going to see we did lose 1 of our Federation fighters. So what happened? What did we lose? We lost 2 Type 8 phasers, 1 Type 6 phaser, and we lost 6 Photon torpedoes. And we lost 2 to 3 crew members. Now we're going to look and see what did we lose on the Galar class side, on the Cardassian Union side. Well, the first thing we lose is 300 members, 300 crew members. We only lost possibly 3 to 2. Then they also lost 8 spiral wave disruptors, 1 heavy spiral wave cannon, and the major opponent is they lost obviously a warship, and they lost over 1,600,000 metric tons of materials, as well as a 260,000 shield matrix. This is a huge loss from a military perspective for a little gain. So the Federation lost nothing, and the Galar lost everything. So this, from a strategic perspective, small engagements like this, hit and runs, would be extremely effective against middle to low class to Galar class vessels. Now, it is noted that if this type of engagement happened with, let's say, the Romulans, it would be a completely different story. Romulan weapons are designed to be able to fight 360 degrees, and they also have targeting computers equal that to the Federation. Now, these vessels I would note, would be capable of taking on birds of prey quite easy because their weapons are all forward-facing and fixated. Even the larger birds of prey as well, the same kind of scenario. But when it came to the D7 or the Volca class cruiser, those weapons are designed all throughout the ship and have a 360-degree angle, and they have an instant targeting lock like the Federation. These vessels wouldn't hold up very well against those kind of ships. But this is basically what the ship's good for. This is why it was made. It's cheap and effective. It's basically cannon fire.